Everybody, how you doing? This is Michael Williams, the Drain Guru, right back at you. Got a lot of people hitting us up about trying to keep cable, hold on to cable, how to take care of the cable. So we're going to talk about that right now. There's a couple different ways that you can keep your cable around a while. I mean, periodically you got to get new cable because cable just rust out just because it takes a beating and because it's so much different. It's so different. There's a lot of stuff going on in the drain with the acids and the drain being corroded and then the cable just taking a beat and getting rusty. We pull our cables each week. Now every truck is running 4 to 5 machines, so we're pulling cables and we're oiling cables. We run General. General has a couple different products. They have an oil that you can put on the cable to keep the cable fresh and keep the cable from being rusty. If you don't have oil, you're out in the field, you can use transmission fluid. You can use a rag. What you want to do is you want to soak that and you want to run that against that cable to keep that cable free. You can also use some 10W40. You can spray it in the drum. What happens a lot of times, people will say, well, you listen, I can't get my cable out the drum. The cable wants to come out the drum, but the cable's rusty. A rusty cable will give you hell. So you definitely want to keep that cable rust-free as much as possible. What will kill a cable, I don't care, old or new, is acid. I find a lot of times that people don't ask enough questions when you go into the property and you don't look for certain things. If you walk into a property, you see a whole bunch of drain cleaner, 9 times out of 10, that means the homeowner or whoever owns the property has poured that down the drain. First thing you want to ask is, when did you pour it down the drain? Because it's going to rust your cable just like that. And it'll do it to a brand new cable in a matter of seconds. You'll pull that cable back and it'll be a bright orange, and that's that acid. So you definitely want to be mindful of that. If you do find that a homeowner or a property owner has poured acid or any kind of agent in the drain, you definitely want to take proper precautions so you don't get the acid on you. Acid will eat through a uniform, and then it will start to eat through you. Acid is no joke. So you guys and gals out there, glove up. I want to make sure you got gloves on your hands. Make sure you got the proper glove. Don't cheat yourself out here. We say in the industry, don't cheat your feet. Buy the best for your feet. Buy the best for your hands. Eye protection. Face protection. Because once that acid gets on you, it's a wrap. And you definitely don't want that acid on you. And it's not much you can do about the cable because the cable's inside the line. But you definitely want to keep that cable oiled. And you definitely want to take care of your equipment. Getting back to the cables, oil your cables, pull your cables out once a week, oil them down. That will make the life of your cable last a lot longer. If you don't oil your cables, you're going to be going through cables. And cables can get expensive. It all depends on what the size of the cable is. Another thing, too, is you definitely want to take care of your machines. Make sure your machines are running like they're supposed to. Make sure your switches for your reverse, off, and forward are working like they're supposed to. Very important. This is very important. Listen to me, folks. You want to make sure your ground fault interrupter, that when you plug it in, that lights up and goes off. You want to run that stuff on a test. All that has a lot to do with your machine working like it's supposed to and not arcing. Arcing means when your cable starts to throw sparks. That means your machine is not grounded properly. So you definitely want to do the right maintenance on your machine because your machine is your money maker. And they're not cheap. So if you take care of your equipment will take care of you. But you definitely want to oil your cables properly. Like I said, we run General. General sells a product. It's a snake oil that you can put on your cable. But we recommend doing it once a week. And if you're out there running those machines a lot like we do, you definitely want to stay on your stuff because that's how you make your money. So you definitely want to stay on top of your cables, keep your cables oiled, keep your machines up to par. If you need belts for your machines, get your belts and always get extra. Extra cable, extra belts, extra cutters, extra ground fault interrupters, extra. Because stuff goes and you need it. So this is Michael Williams, Jarring Guru, baby, saying to you, hey, keep those cables oiled. Because without the cables, we can't make no money. See ya.